And it is a tent. Like at the end of the day, it's just fabric between me and the outside. And I hope it doesn't rain because I might have to move somewhere else, because this morning it started raining and I was like, oh, like it's not a peaceful sound where you're like, oh, this is relaxing. You're like, the world is caving in on me.
Oh man, that's intense to be.
It's totally intense.
Nice.
Temperature check, icy cold. Temperature check, searing hot. Temperature check, listen to the temperature check, icy cold. Temperature check, searing hot. Temperature check, listen to the
temperature check with Noah and Josh.
All right, welcome everybody.
Good day to you.
We're joined this week from the beginning, from the Anfang. That's a weird way to put that.
Beginning in German.
Yeah, by our good friend and teammate Nikki. Hi, Nikki.
Say hi.
Hey, hello.
Joining us from a yurt in Canada.
Yeah. So crazy.
Vancouver Island. Yeah.
Do you know what your temperature is, Nikki? Have you taken your temperature recently? Do you have any idea?
I have absolutely no idea because the yurt has no heat. So my hands are so cold and my forehead's, I think, generally quite warm. So I would say I'm average. I have
maybe below average. I don't
Fever
know.
has no shot at getting at you.
None. There's a gauge the other day. There's a gauge, like a temperature gauge in here. And I was like, it's so warm in here. It's like tropical. And I looked at it, it's 15 degrees.
Celsius. Yeah, right.
Yeah. I'm living below like normal temperature wise.
What is what is like the average, normal, comfortable room temperature for centigrade? 20?
I think it's like, it's something like 20,
18,
1, 22, 18, something. It's a little bit higher. It's not extreme, but it's like definitely a little bit warmer than.
So you're definitely on the chillier side.
Yeah, I'm living. Yeah,
she's in a yurt.
Cold.
You're living in a yurt, so it's only to be expected. Noah, what's your temperature?
I don't know, so I'm going to make it up. Unless you want me to go and get my temperature gauger. What's that called?
Temperature. It's called a thermometer, but you can call it whatever you want.
I always like the word temperature gauger. Thermometer is always a fun word to spell because it has the word mom in there, and that's beautiful.
Awful.
Oh,
just awful.
Right. I like how you...
It's Father's Day. I might as well throw something to mom. My average temperature has been 36. So
that's what I got. I just got 36.1 on my thermometer.
Thermometer.
What I don't understand about like temperature is the fact that like 1 degree when it's body temperature is such a big difference. Like it's crazy. You're like, I don't know, it's like 37's normal and like 38 you've got like a fever, and like 38.5 it's like go to the hospital or something. I'm like, seems
we're
so
sensitive. We're such sensitive creatures.
I know, but it's just so small, like in terms of like a degree, where I'm like, I don't understand. Anyway, it's wild.
No, it is. It's remarkable. It's a testament to the wonders and miracle of the human body, you know?
All right, so we see where Noah's at today.
Oh my God.
Hallmark card.
I mean, there's a 1 degree of difference between boiling and not boiling, right? So take it or leave it. I think that 1 degree of difference is a big thing.
Well, totally. Isn't that the whole like climate change is also like 2 degrees? Like that's crazy small amount. Like totally. You're like, how it's so close. You're like, nope, you fucked up. It's 1 degree more. It's awful.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
It's wild.
I tell you, the latest pollution thing, like just on a local level that drives me nuts is I have seen, I don't know if maybe it's because we live close to a hospital. I don't know, but I've seen so many masks on the ground. Which is like, that's crazy to me. I just cannot get in the brain of someone who takes a mask off and then throws it on the ground.
Well, I don't think it's as nefarious as you might think it is, Josh.
You think they try to stuff it in the pocket and it falls out?
Exactly. I've actually witnessed it happen on more than one occasion.
Well, that's just sloppy and come on.
I think.
I think also like it depends on the situation, right? Like you could see it. I could see it if it's at a hospital. Like it could be one. You know, do I have my keys? Do I have my phone? Shit, where's my mask? It fell down. That sort of situation. I could also see somebody being like, an emergency situation where, you know, they're running in. Also, like, some janitor's like getting rid of some garbage and the bag splits, and he's like, oh, fuck. This stuff's contaminated. I don't want to touch it. You know, like I don't have gloves.
If you're in the hospital, for sure. But like just out on the street, I don't think that's happening so much.
I'm clearly not there. I have a wild imagination. Bags and bags of masks.
But I mean, our brother, we were speaking the other day, our other brother is a doctor in go check out episode 2. We talked about this. And actually last episode was the bonus episode with Ben.
I did.
Yeah, great. No, I was talking to the listener, not to you, Nikki. I know you did.
I took it really personal. I was like, shut up, I did. What are you telling me to do?
No,
there's someone else out there?
He was saying that the amount of like rubber glove waste at the hospitals is much more than normal, because obviously like there's a whole lot of precaution taking place with PPEs and all that kind of stuff. Which is,
I just love that acronym has entered the lexicon now. That PPE? Like everyone just knows what PPE means now.
Yeah,
I don't.
I had to be fair, I did have to look it up. I spent a couple weeks just being like, I'll pretend I know what this is, and then finally I had to look it up. Personal protective.
Don't tell me. Don't tell me. I want to guess.
Okay, do it.
Now I know personal, but use it in a sentence. Noah, use PPE.
Oh yeah,
in
sure.
A sentence.
So doctors in New York are complaining that they don't have enough PPEs to keep them safe from the coronavirus.
Okay, so I heard personal. So personal packaged equipment.
Oh, so close.
Very close. Very close.
Okay, wait.
Think about
Josh,
what it's doing. Yeah,
Josh, you use it in a sentence.
I need to go treat someone who's incredibly infectious, so I am going to put on some PPE.
Personal protective equipment.
There
you nailed it.
Nice.
What other words have we learned in the last 2 months?
Well, the new social distancing is like a new...
that's going to be
social distancing, physical distancing, epidemiology. I mean, that's not a new word, but like I feel like everyone's become a minor epidemiologist now.
Yeah, everyone knows what why it's called coronavirus.
Right, flattening the curve. That's a phrase.
Yeah, flattening the curve. Yeah,
forever.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
For sure. There's also I find it interesting who's using corona and who's calling it COVID. And then there's other places that are very about calling it COVID-19. Like it's very accurate. Like, you know, like it's like some people are like, oh, corona. Yeah.
People call corona. There's like very regional corona, coronavirus, all one word, coronavirus, 2 words. Then there's COVID-19. And then there's COVID, all capital. All capitalized COVID-19. That's a big, I feel like in the States, they do COVID-19 all capitalized. And in Europe,
that's what I've been seeing a lot of. Yeah.
Yeah. In Europe, it's like lowercase code, capital C.
Do we know there is actually a difference between COVID-19 and coronavirus?
Well, coronavirus describes a whole branch of viruses, whereas COVID-19 is the particular coronavirus we're being affected by right now.
It's the disease.
Okay. Oh, is that right? So it's the disease you get from coronavirus?
Yeah, exactly. COVID stands for coronavirus disease year 2019. Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Right.
The more you know.
Doesn't.
Yes, it does.
No, what about the I? You said
COVID. There's an I in virus.
Coronavirus.
Oh,
Disease.
that's sneaky. That's not a proper acronym.
Yeah, it's a little lame.
I don't write the rules.
Anyway.
Yeah. That's cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Is there going to be a COVID-20 then?
I'm sure there will be. Whatever this one morphs into.
Oh my God.
Oh, that's dark.
Oh, that's so dark. And
Let's talk about something else. Let's talk about something else. How many deer have you seen this past week?
Okay, there's about 14 that hang out on the property.
Do you have names for them?
Almost. I've become that person though. Let's just say this whole experience let's call it what I've been calling it, temporary retirement. And it doesn't look good. There's never really a time in life where you're like, oh, what would it be like when I retire? You're like, oh, I'm not going to work, or I can't do anything. I'm old. So here I am living in a yurt on a remote island. And I am I'm not a person who like seems to care about what I look like at all, to the point where I look like a bush woman. I can't even just wearing like old hand-me-downs from like the 14, 15, 16 years I used to live here. So, and then leftover like clothes from my parents. So I just look like something left over from the 90s, some ripped pants, my hair. I picked like branches out of my hair the other day and I was like, oh my God. And then there's all these like, there's just this like nature around me. And I'm just like, I'm the old woman who like grabs my phone now and is like, hello, dear, talk to me. Like I'm talking, my phone is probably full with a like significant number of deer videos because they just crack me up, because you make one sound and they just look at you with like a really good stare, just like, and then it's so wonderful. And you're just like, I'm the weird one. What? Oh, it's wonderful. But that's how I've become. I've become this old woman who like, let me take a photo. Oh, they're gone already. Or like, oh, I'll take another video.
Don't ever delete those photos.
No,
I'm going to keep them forever.
Your voice went weird again, Noah.
Oh, did it? Oh, nice. Let's keep it going, baby.
Do you hear that?
I thought it was like you're going into some like improv character, and then Josh is just like, my voice is weird. I was like, all right, I won't, honey, I'll never delete those photos.
Noah's got a weird reverse helium thing that his computer puts his recorder on the wrong bit rate.
It likes to switch the kilohertz from 44.1 to 48 randomly, and then all of a sudden I sound like this, and
I can't.
I know, I can't deal with it either.
Oh my God, it's amazing.
It's so fucked up.
You sound, what are you? You're a guy, you drive a truck instantly. You're wearing a plaid jacket. You love a drive-through, and you probably have like a boat. You have a boat or something.
Hey, where are y'all going? You seem to be stranded. Where are y'all going? Can I help you out? You had your thumbs up.
Weird.
You had this one. I'm going this way anyway. So you want to just jump on in?
I don't really feel comfortable getting in the car with you, sir. But thank you so much for stopping.
No. I get this all the time. I've quarantined out a spot in the cab where I can't actually touch you.
Okay, no, it's fine. I appreciate it. Like, we've been trying to hitchhike here.
Please, come on, look at those legs of yours, all tired and supple looking.
Okay, well, you've made it worse.
Well, that's a weird comment to make about my legs.
Oh no, don't worry about it. Look at you, all sweaty and shimmering.
We just needed a ride.
So
we were really looking for like a bunch of compliments. I didn't really think it mattered what we looked like, but you're just gonna
look at all the space I have. Look at all the space.
We're just gonna keep walking. We're gonna keep walking.
Just look inside my cab. There's enough space for us all.
Not even gonna look.
There's enough space for us to all lie down together.
What? Well, why would we even do that? No. Listen, you know what? At this point, I'm pretty sure I saw a sign. This town is another 3 kilometers. So we're just going to, honey? We're just going to walk the 3 kilometers? I mean,
I think we should just walk. I mean, the fact, like, I very much appreciate you wanting to pick us up.
You listen to me. You listen to me right now.
Oh, my God.
You listen to me right now. You're going to get in this cab.
That's not how this works.
Yeah.
We were asking for a ride. The relationship goes both ways. We're not so desperate that we're just going to hop into any car.
Are you crazy?
Okay, fine. I tried a different route. I thought I'd go the aggressive route.
That's not how you pick people up.
No.
That's not how you pick people up. You just ask if you're, it's all about, like it's a two-way street when you try to pick people up on the side of the road here. It's not just pull over and open a door and we get in. That's not how it works. We're just travelers without a car. Okay.
That's all we are. And right now, if you wouldn't mind just moving on, because right now it seems like you're going to pick us up, but we're not right now. No one else is stopping because you're here. Yeah. So if you could just drive on, then we could just, either walk or the next person.
Okay. All right. You two have been
very upfront with me, and I appreciate both of you for being very candid and honest with me and speaking your heart. And just before I move on, because I will move on, but just before I do, I'd just like maybe to get some feedback from you. Maybe I could ask you a few questions to help me improve my next stop, and maybe I could be more successful in the future. Okay, so question number 1: on a scale of 1 to 10.
Oh, scale. Okay.
Okay.
How approachable was I before I said my first words?
Where's good and bad? What's the scale? One is really bad.
One being not approachable, I was totally frightened, and 10 being this. I would share a beer with this guy.
1.
Yeah, 1. I found your car to be a little bit dirty. I think you need to you've got some cracks in your windows here, and I don't know. You have a boat on the back, so it just seems not very inviting.
Fair enough. And
I don't know
fair feedback.
Is that rust or is that blood in the pickup? In the back.
I can show you in the back. We can take a closer look. I can show you.
Going to do that.
Okay.
No.
Question number 2. Question number 2. For this one, I'm just going to need you to both stick your hands into this box here, if you don't mind.
Nope.
Nope.
Thank you. So we're just going to walk in the opposite direction now, just to get away from your truck. And then, can I just be honest with you? I know this is not your fault, because there's a lot that you could change that would make this whole situation better. But even if you were the friendliest guy, and even if you didn't have blood in the back or ask us to put our hands in your box, your voice is fucked up, dude. And you should probably figure out a new approach.
Yeah, it's not only like the appearance of your car, but then that's the first hit. But then the confirmation of I shouldn't get in this car is definitely your voice. It sounds like you don't breathe enough. It's just sort of like a reverse sort of aspect. I don't know. It makes me very uncomfortable.
Oh, well, I mean, I've heard this before, and I've tried to work on it. And in fact, I joined a local choir back where I'm from, and I've been singing quite a lot. I could try to maybe sing for you, maybe show you that I do have a range. Do you believe in life after love, after love, after love? I can feel something inside you saying,
honey, get in the boat. Let's go. Let's get out of here. We're taking his boat and we're getting out of here.
Hey, that's my boat.
I had this thing as a kid that I would never be able to understand what words were in the songs, and I'd just make them up on my own.
Big time.
What I thought it was. Yeah. Do you know that song? I think it's Incubus. I believe in the sand beneath my feet. Do you know that?
No idea. No.
I believe in the sand beneath my feet.
Nope. Nothing. Is that what you thought the lyrics were?
No, those are the actual lyrics. What I heard was, and what I always thought it was I believe in the 70s, my friend.
Oh man!
I just remember in 6th grade in elementary school, we had this. Our elementary school did a talent show, which was actually just lip syncing, and every year I tried to do something. 6th grade, I finally did. I got an entry for the talent show, the lip sync, which was Elton John from The Who's Tommy singing Pinball Wizard. Right. And I spent a crazy amount of time building out of cardboard a pinball machine and getting the costume together. And it was one of my favorite songs, but I had the same thing as Noah. I just did not understand lyrics the right way. And I didn't get them. I had maybe 25% of the words right. And the song is 6 minutes long. It's not a short song at all. And I did the night before we did the auditions or whatever in class, our parents were let's see it. And I did a test thing for them. And I remember the look on our dad's face, what are you I could just, I was I wanted to bail so bad. Cause I was I'm not going to be he was let's go over the song with the real words. And I didn't practice. I hadn't practiced anything. So the entire thing of me lip syncing was 6 minutes of me lip syncing to the song in front of a very wonderfully done cardboard pinball machine. That was it. I wasn't dancing. I wasn't doing anything else. No one else.
So just standing there Oh,
Just
how old
standing
were
there,
you?
dressed as Elton John from the 70s. Like,
Oh God, that's amazing. I want to do. I think we should. I want to see some of these talent shows. I've seen some footage of myself here because I'm back home. I've also looked at some photos, and I figure skated like most Canadian girls, and there's some costumes that are
oh man.
just like the same. I don't know if you felt amazing standing up there on stage, like if you felt cool.
No,
Did you feel
I
cool?
knew that I didn't. I knew.
Oh, you knew it was a
I
failure.
mean, I thought when I did it in front of my parents, I was like, I got this. And then like, as soon as it was done, I was like, oh no. And then I had to do it in front of the classroom because I'd signed up. And it was just like, from the minute I got started in front of my classroom, I was like, this is the worst. And I'm so glad that we're leaving and going to a new school at the end of this year because I don't need to talk about this ever again.
Oh man, yeah. I had a moment where I was looking. I remember specifically feeling amazing in this costume, and when, like, in the moment as a child, as a memory. And when I look at this photo, let me just describe it for you first. I am okay. I don't know. I'm a little girl. I'm like probably 8. I have questionable teeth in my mouth. I'm not sure which way they're actually going. Like very much so. I don't know where the top and the bottom row are. Like it does not look good. Doesn't matter. My hair is just kind of the way it is now, but just cut in some coiffed way, but with gel, right? And gel never does well with waves, like too much gel. Anyway, it's for figure skating, so you wear a lot of gel. I'm wearing so much makeup, and in the time, I guess it was like the early 90s, it's just blue eyeshadow from eyelid to eyebrow. Blush of like a deep mauve, like what is that word? Mauve,
yeah,
mauve, whatever, mauve color. Yeah. And then some red lips. That alone looks like the most terrifying puppet. Remember the teeth. The teeth are also questionable. Then I'm wearing a skin colored bodysuit. Okay. Like full length with green pants that are kind of puffy, with sequins all over the green pants that cover my skate booties as well. And in the back, it's like chiffon just shooting out my butt. And then on the front is a sequined, a giant, not 2 shells, because we're supposed to be like the mermaid, but 1 giant shell, because, you know, we're kids. And it's sequined. And I'm supposed to be the Little Mermaid, but I just look kind of like honestly like a whore. Like I just like the quintessential like.
It's that 90s look though, like.
But like on a child with no, questionable teeth and like just the sequined shell because it's so pale and I'm just so scrawny. And then this billowing pants with the chiffon, like it is so confusing. And I look at it and it's so tragic because I really I remember looking and feeling amazing. And if you look at my expression, it's all like, I nailed this. Like my eyes are like glowing and I'm showing you the biggest smile, which is again, I mean, I lost my 2 front teeth when I was 2 and I had braces later on in life. So it was just a serious situation happening up there. But yeah, like that sort of like, I feel amazing. And then realizing like, oh my God, why did they let me go out anywhere with this? And I performed on ice with that and it's on tape. Like everything about that is filmed and documented. So do you have footage of yours, Josh?
I doubt I do. I don't think so.
Yeah, right.
I think you're just
Josh
saying
has
that,
the
Noah?
footage. He's kept it in a vault.
At this point, I would love to see that. That would be like prime comedy material right now.
There was some.
Do that?
What's that?
Can we do a show? Can we do a show where we like
reenact
find some footage? Yes. Or we can improvise off of it. We can find with it, but I really would love to do that. Like to find some old footage.
Well, my kids are interrupting me. Hold on a second. Why are you bothering me? Okay. She came in to tell me she's taking a shower now. This is a new thing. She takes showers now instead of baths, and she is incredibly proud about taking a shower.
All right.
Anyway, so that's why that happened.
Like we used to have jump rope for heart, which was like everyone would bring their skipping ropes to school and we would skip on like jumping rope for cancer or for like the Heart and Stroke Foundation. And you would raise money for like how long people would assume you could jump for. I don't think that's a thing anymore. Like
I guarantee you it is. At least in America, they try to raise money everywhere. I mean, everyone needs something now. I guess they all do it. Maybe they don't do that. They have GoFundMe for that now.
Yeah, now the kids. Yeah,
like it's not.
The kids don't do anything to deserve the money that they raise for all their like
ill relatives.
We did magazine subscriptions. Like I would go door to door, being like, "What magazines would you like?"
Do you remember, like, Noah? They had this thing where we would have to sell chocolate, right?
Yes.
And for every bar of chocolate you sold, you'd raise money, and then you'd got points, and you could use those for like prizes and stuff.
Yeah,
and it was really awful. It was because for us, like all of our friends' parents had offices they would go to work at. So like the fucking parents would bring their kids things to the offices, and they'd sell this chocolate to all their coworkers. Our parents didn't work at a store, or they didn't work at an office. They had a store. So we would get our neighbors. We would each sell like 3 bars of chocolate.
I just stood on ceremony. I didn't participate in that shit at all. I was like,
done that.
That was like so. Just talking about like baking in the idea of like cutthroat capitalism.
Yes,
kids.
I'll tell you what. I'm without hyperbole, like not even joking. That is the shit that really, not growing up in Woodstock, not having hippie parents, but that stuff is what really made me realize, oh, this system is bullshit. You know, like this
it is. It's like
that's what made me a communist at age 15. You know.
Oh man, we also had to collect phone books, which is a thing that like there was a phone book drive, and so you would go. I don't know why. I guess it was like, I think on the island everything's about recycling, so we would collect people's bottles, like bottle drives, and then bring them to the bottle depot and count them. But also phone books, and I remember like there would be a competition between classrooms, like how many phone books, and we would pile them up in the back of the room. I kind of feel like this is just like the government or somebody was like, we don't know how to, we want people to recycle this shit. So let's get kids to like go to people's homes. And phone books are heavy. Back in the day, they were massive. So you have one and you're like, oh God, the backpack's already heavy. So having like 2 or 3 was insane. But we were like, get the phone book. Like it was crazy. I'm just like, what is that? Yeah.
Little child, get in here. You.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Both of you. Both of you get in
okay.
here.
Your eyes are crossed, and it's hard to know who you're looking at.
You shut your mouth. My eyes are crossed because I carried phone books for 5 years when I was a child. How long have you been carrying phone books?
I don't even know what a phone book is.
What? Well, this explains why you haven't brought me any phone books. Look at your charts. They're completely empty.
Yeah, but the thing is, they stopped producing phone books like 20 years ago, so it's really hard to find.
Phone books.
Nikki, what is a phone book, Nikki?
A phone book is a book with papers with numbers in it.
That's all I know.
Phone numbers. It's where you go if you need to find out where to call someone up.
That doesn't make any sense.
Why don't you just use your phone and Google something?
What did you say?
You don't even need a smartphone for that. You can use one of those Samsung.
What did you say? The smartphone?
Oh my God, you're really sweating now. You're really sweating and you're foaming at the mouth.
Brats, you're the reason. You're the reason I'm living in this yurt now instead of in my mansion the way I used to. I used to be the phone book king of Vancouver.
Oh, you're old man McGillicuddy, the man who used to live on top of the mountain?
That's right. I owned the whole mountain. Now I own nothing. I don't even own the yurt. I bought it from some kids who had a school project.
Yeah, yeah. My parents, they bought you out. They bought the mansion, and we lived in your mansion. And
listen, old man McKilly, we're only helping you because our parents felt bad for you. The whole community feels bad for you. That's why we're here. We weren't collecting phone books. We can't collect phone books because there aren't anymore. But we're just here to make sure that you don't die because you're the only interesting story that is in this town.
And also, we're a new age generation, and we've been raised on compassion, kindness, and presence of mind.
Yes, presence of mind is key in our generation.
Let me ask you something. Can I burn presence of mind to heat my yurt? Can I eat your kindness to calm my hungry belly?
Hey, man, anything is fine as long as you lead with love.
I'll lead with love and this knife.
Hey.
I'm too weak to do anything.
Whoa, Noah, I think what he means is that he's cold. Are you cold?
Cold and I'm hungry and I'm lonely and I'm sad because I built an empire out of phone books and now I own nothing.
Hey, old man McGillicuddy, that's fine. Here, I happen to have packed a whole bunch of homemade
nuts,
baked nuts, and mixed with lime rinds. And
listen to me, young man. Thank you. But what do you have the phone number for altavista.com?
Alta Vista? That's the mountain we live on.
Yes. I started a website called altavista.com. It was where I was going to sell my phone books online. And then there's a couple of intrepid young business people. They gave me $100 for the website. And I thought, well, hot diggity, that's $100. I spent $1 on that website. I just made $99.
Old man McGillicuddy.
What?
I'm sorry to say, but Alta Vista's name's been changed. When my parents bought the house, we named the mountain Google.
What?
Yeah.
Does it have a mountain view?
Yeah. It's very beautiful.
It does. It still does. Here, drink this avocado water.
Listen, Mr. McGillicuddy, I just think you don't like it? You don't like it? My mom makes them.
It's disgusting, but never mind. What did you want to say to me?
I just feel like, because I want to go with kindness and compassion, which is part of our generation, I just feel like maybe you're suffering a loss from your identity and from your career, and maybe you just need to sort of embrace it and move forward. And though phone books were a valuable thing of the past, they're not valuable anymore. And just because you bought a website, it doesn't mean that you can't make another one, because you can make many websites. There's so many websites on the internet that go nowhere and lead to nothing. You could just make another one. Yeah, there's hope out there.
There is hope out there, Mr. McGillicuddy. And,
Yahoo! Thank you. Hot dog. I'm going to start a website. You know what? I'll call it Yahoo.
I'm sorry, Mr. McGillicuddy. That's been done already. And you you owe us money now for saying that.
Son of a bitch. All right, well, I'm going back in my yurt.
Yes.
Thank you, kids, for your kindness, compassion, and loving presence.
Remember, Mr. McGillicuddy, life is a series of moments that make you say, ah.
Oh, great. Good. Nikki, thanks for joining us.
Aww.
All the way from Vancouver.
I know. It was great having you here for the whole show.
Vancouver Island.
Vancouver Island. We have to be specific. You are on an island.
How many hours?
Vancouver's on the mainland, and I'm on like a little island off
You're
of it.
9 hours behind us?
Yeah.
All right. So good morning to you.
That's right.
Thank you. Good
and
evening to you.
By the time people listen to this, you will probably actually be in another live stream with us for GLB, because we are on Friday night, 8:30 Central European Standard Time.
That might be right now, guys. That might be right
now. That's right. And on that note, we on the Comedy Cafe Berlin YouTube and hopefully also Facebook at some point, Thursday through Sunday at 8:30 p.m. We're going to be live streaming shows every week while the theater's closed. So join us. Tune in. We're probably not going to have those videos. Won't be up other than for the live stream.
No, we're going to recreate
one and done.
If you're not
that
there
theater
for the
experience, you missed it.
You missed it.
Like a true improv show.
There we go. We're going to get back to that vibe. We've also got classes. Yeah, exactly. Do it, Noah.
Big news. We're starting classes in person. in a few weeks. So if you're interested, there are a few spots left.
Not in a few weeks. By the time people listen to this, it's this
in 1 week. Yeah.
Have you signed up yet?
We've rented out a bigger theater so that we can maintain social distancing, but we've worked it out, and we'll be able to run classes in person. No more online stuff, which is fun. Actually, there is still a sketch online.
There's 2 online sketch courses, and there are spots available in a bunch of just 1 or 2 spots available in a bunch of the courses. So if you're interested,
training.comedycafeberlin.com. Check it out.
There it is.
While spots last.
There you go.
I love the idea of all these students in a couple of months when this is sort of settled, all the new comedians that come out of the school or the training, and they're like, hey, and you're like, I only saw your head, I never saw the rest of your body. Oh, you're really tall. I always imagined you really short. All these sort of, it's so good.
Oh, your voice is so much higher in person.
Yeah. Oh,
did you have your video recorder at 48 kilohertz?
That's such a nerd joke. I can't really what? 40 hertz.
I wish my thing changed right now, so I'm speaking at a lower voice right now, but oh well.
We can change it in post.
Comedy Cafe Berlin is doing drinks again this weekend, although by the time you listen to this, it'll only be tomorrow, Saturday.
Well, it might be right now,
23rd.
Too. Jump
That's
out
true. Yeah,
and get a last-minute drink to go tomorrow as well, Friday, Saturday.
There we go. Check out Comedy Cafe Berlin on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. Subscribe to this podcast. Like it. Tell your friends so more people listen to it. Did we lose Nikki?
No, she's going
sideways.
I'm here.
Oh, now she's sideways for us, but that's okay. You don't know out there in podcast world. Thank you so much to our guest this week, our partner in crime from GLB, Nicole Ratjen.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Hey, thanks, guys. That was fun.
Yeah.
Oh, that was really fun. Nice to chat.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks to your roommate back in Berlin, Joseph Nowak, for our cover art for Temperature Check.
And thank you to Jakob Wagner for the theme music, as always, and to Exberliner for continued sponsorship.
There it is. Thanks so much for listening, everybody.
Good night. Bye.
Bye.
Temperature check, icy cold. Temperature check, searing hot. Temperature check, listen to the temperature check, icy cold. Temperature check, searing hot. Temperature check, listen to the temperature check.